everybody. Welcome to another Learn English with Football World Cup special, a show in which I talk to my friends and football fans about the World Cup 2022 in Qatar. Stay tuned till the end because that's when I will be going through some cool English vocabulary from this interview. And my guest today is from Japan. His name is Yusuke. Hi, Yusuke.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How about you?
I'm doing very good indeed. I think we're going to figure out why, but yeah, I'm doing very good.
Excellent. It's fantastic to have you here, especially because of the success of your
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
So I want to ask you, did you watch the game against Spain? Because that was the game that helped you qualify.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I only watched, so I'm not gonna pretend like I'm a huge football fan, but so
Yeah.
I didn't really watch the game. I only watched the last 30 minutes. And one reason is I was a little nervous to watch the game because we were on the edge, and I thought most likely we're not gonna make it. And then
Yeah.
I was at my friend's house, and I don't really want to disturb their conversation and something like that. But I was constantly checking their score on the phone, and when I see Japan score 2 point, and I have to watch it, and so I ask my friend to turn on the TV, and I watch the last 30 minutes or 40 minutes.
So you watched the last 30 minutes.
Yeah. But I but
Okay.
I missed Japan scoring
Yeah.
scoring. So, yeah.
Yeah. But when you learned that your team had scored,
Yeah.
did you celebrate it?
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah.
I was screaming, watching. I'm looking at my phone, and my friend just told me that you can turn on the TV, and I
Yeah.
you turn on
And
the TV.
this question, did you celebrate when you won? When actually the referee blew the final whistle? Did you celebrate?
Yeah, well, it depends on the definition of celebrate. But I drank 1 cup of whiskey, and I haven't
One
haven't been haven't been drinking for like
one bottle of
uh,
whiskey? Did I hear you clearly?
no, what just 1 shot of whiskey. But to be fair, I haven't drunken that much. I try not to drink as much as possible, but I
Mhm.
kind of have to celebrate in a way, so I drink
Yeah.
a
I
very
I thought
fancy
you would
whiskey.
drink something like sake or what's the name of the Japanese
Oh yeah,
drink?
sake is
Sake.
like rice wine type of thing.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they didn't have rice wine. So.
Yeah,
But they,
because
they
you're
have very fine Scottish whiskey, so that was
yeah. Oh,
that
you are
was.
not in Japan right now. You are in the UK, right?
Oh yes, I'm in the UK and doing master right now. So
Yeah. Great.
so there at that my friend's house there was like dozens of people, but I'm the
Ah.
only Japanese, and but all the nationalities. But luckily there is no Spanish people there, so I can express my emotion like to the team as much as I
Yeah.
want to. But yeah, they
Yeah.
all
Well,
celebrated.
well,
Uh,
the thing is though, they also qualified, yeah. So
yeah.
they lost the match, but it didn't mean that they were knocked out, right? Because it was actually Germany who got knocked out in the end. So
Yeah, wow, so the loss of Spain is, I think, a little controversial because as Spain lost, they can now face to Morocco, right? And then
oh,
if they,
do you think they
yeah,
did it on purpose? Do you think Luis Enrique,
no,
their manager,
I
lost
don't,
on purpose?
I don't think so. And yeah, but there's some people
Yeah, saying
who's
that.
like
Mm,
conspiring that Spain might have lost on
yeah.
purpose. But to be fair, they scored the first one, and then it was 0-1, and Spain
Mhm.
was winning.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so I
No,
don't think they lose on purpose. Yeah.
I think you definitely deserve to go through. And you are going through from the first place as well because
I know.
you
Yeah,
got
that's
6 points.
yeah,
You beat Germany, you beat Spain. If you beat Germany and if you beat Spain, I
yeah,
don't think there's no argument about if it's deserved or not. Of course it is deserved, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy in a way. So, cause like there was a lot of even though I'm not a big football fan, there was like a
Mhm.
lot of meme on the internet. The group
Yeah.
E was like group of death, and then Japan and Costa Rica is crying, and then whereas Spain and Germany is very confident and things.
Yeah.
But we
Do you know
managed
what?
to, yeah,
Speaking of the memes,
yeah.
what do you think of those funny memes and jokes? For example, did you see the new Japanese flag? You know
Oh no.
how you have the circle, the red circle, right? Or the
Yeah,
what do
yeah,
you
yeah,
call it?
yeah, yeah.
The
In the
sphere
middle. Yeah.
in the middle, and then it's not. There's like a bit that is cut off, just a
Uh-huh.
little tiny bit that is cut off, which was the margins that decided in your favor in the end, because you know how everybody thought the ball had crossed the line.
Ah, that one.
So
Yeah.
there is a circle, but there is like a little bit is cut off, and that's the joke. There's
Uh-huh.
a
Uh-huh.
new Japanese flag, and another joke is, you know how you have sometimes when you register, you have
Mhm.
to prove that you are not a robot. It's called a captcha.
Ah,
Captcha.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And there is a new captcha meme where you have they divided. There is this image of that Japanese player that was passing the ball that
Uh-huh.
nearly crossed the line, and it's divided into 9 squares, like in
Uh,
captcha, and you have to choose the squares with the ball.
oh.
And then there's the ball in the middle, and then there's a little bit of the ball behind the line on the right. So you have to choose that as well.
Oh, I didn't see neither of them, but yeah,
Yeah, they're very
I'm
funny.
amazed how people can
You should
be
check
so
them out.
inventive.
You should
Yeah,
check
yeah,
them
yeah.
out.
I
Well, the
will.
question is, did the ball cross the line? Was it out of play?
It looked like it, but it's only all VR or something like that. So it's
VAR, yeah.
technology is proving it's not like there is no human interruption between I mean deciding the ball crossed or not. So it's
Yeah.
I mean IT is saying that then the ball didn't cross the line, I guess.
I think it didn't, yeah. But it was really, really about
Really, I think it's literally
millimeter.
like a 1 millimeter or something like that. Yeah. So
Yeah. You know
yeah,
what was funny, because it looked different from different angles, right? So from some
yeah,
angles, it looked like the
yeah.
ball has certainly crossed the line. From other angles, it looked like it didn't. But what's important is you need that right angle, right? So you need to look at it from top down,
Yeah,
and that's hopefully where technology comes in, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's geometry, and it's not my strongest suit, to be honest with you. But it didn't look like it was out of play for me, at least.
No, I don't think so. And well, especially like Mitoma saved the ball, and I'm in Brighton right now, and
Mm,
Mitoma is in Brighton Seagulls, so
yeah,
I'm quite rooting
Mitoma.
for
Yeah,
Mitoma. And then
he made that assist, Mitoma,
yeah, 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 he
and the
made a
goal
big assist.
scorer was Tanaka.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But
Mhm.
yeah, Mitoma was doing amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Yeah,
fantastic. So I want to ask you. Obviously, you deserved this, and also it wasn't just about one fluke match. It was about you won two really tough matches against
yeah,
the favorites of the tournament. Yeah, but
yeah.
I want to ask you, because obviously I know Japan is a good team. You have a good team. I know some players, Tomiyasu, for example, at
Mhm.
Arsenal, but still, you wouldn't be considered one of the favorites of the tournament. So I want to ask you, like, what are the reasons that you did so well? What are the reasons? Is it the Japanese mentality, like you never give up, or that you kind of always stick together, like the togetherness, the team spirit? Because I think what's important in your team is like suppress the individuality, but really just the team is the most important thing. And you are very humble. Your players clean the dressing room after matches and things like that.
Mm. Oh, to be fair, I don't really know, and probably Germany matches was more on luck,
Mm,
whereas well, so what was his name? Do you know Keisuke Honda?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Keisuke Honda was like doing explanation during the match, but
Yeah.
according to him, Germany matches was more like a luck, but Spanish matches was we
More deserved.
deserve yeah, yeah, we
Yeah.
deserve winning. So maybe
Especially,
Germany. Yeah, mhm,
yeah, but especially because of that second half. Because yes, Spain were better in the first half,
yeah.
but then whatever your manager told your players in the dressing room, it really worked, because you
Mhm.
you came out as a completely different team, and it was incredible how you went for it.
Yeah.
You just went for it, you know. I love that. I love that attitude. Like, you have nothing to lose, just go for it, you know. It was incredible the way you played in the second half.
Yeah. So one is probably the spirits of nothing to lose, as
Mhm.
well as so. For example, I kind of assumed that we were going to lose on Spain, but
Yeah.
probably the team coach Moriyasu was so believed in his team, and I didn't give up until the last second. So that's uh n- no like bad assumption in his mind, and he actually believed he could win the match. So I think
Yeah.
that's that his mindset was the reason we
Positive. Yeah.
win the match.
Self-belief, a lot of self-belief, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
confidence. Yeah,
yeah,
but what I want to say is also, you're very like, the mentality, Japanese mentality, from my impression, is very, is kind of humble, yeah. So whereas you
mhm,
could have like a lot of big egos in other teams, like in the French team, they have an amazing team, but it must be really hard sometimes with these big egos. Everybody like wants to show off their best skills, and they might not always care about the team as much as they care about themselves. We have another example in Cristiano Ronaldo, right? So I
uh-huh.
don't think this is the Japanese mentality. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think your mentality is the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, in general, yes. If you look at whole Japan, that's probably the mentality of
Mhm.
Japan. And to be also fair, we don't have like very super good player like Cristiano
Okay.
Ronaldo or Messi.
Yeah.
So
Or
in that
Even South Korea have like bigger stars than you,
that's not
right?
for me, right?
Yeah.
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 Well, but yeah, so for me it's more like team play. So maybe, uh, yeah, probably the mentality, but
Hmm.
no one is very super outstanding amongst the team, so everyone
Yeah.
has to kind of cooperate and
Yeah.
get you
Work
know,
together.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, I admire this. I think football is a team sport. Yeah. Yes,
yeah,
of course, individualities exist, and of course,
hmm,
sometimes they are the decisive factor in a lot of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
matches. You do want to have a player who believes in themselves, like Ronaldo, but
Mhm.
sometimes you don't. You see what happened at Manchester United now? They kicked him out because
Yeah, yeah, I know, I
it
know.
wasn't working. So I think there is a fine line, and you need to get the balance right. And
Mhm.
I really like the way it works in the Japanese team. And what does this mean? What does this win mean for Japan as the country, in your opinion?
Uh, well, it means a lot. Well, of course, and all the news is talking about the win to Spain and Germany.
Yeah.
And what is very interesting is in I don't remember, probably like 1993 or something like that. We have no, it should have been 1993, but around that date, we're fighting qualifying match to get into World Cup,
Yeah.
and we called it, and we lost the match, and then we couldn't get into World Cup series, but
Hmm.
we called it, I don't know, well, we called it Doha no Higeki, which means agony of Doha. Have you heard of it?
No.
No, so we were top on the group, so we were most certainly we can go to World Cup, but
Yeah.
we lost at very last second. And no, we don't even lost. We draw the match,
Ah.
but so we draw the match and then we couldn't go to World Cup. But
Yeah.
that they we I think we're fighting against Iran,
Ah.
and Iran scored at last like 30 seconds
Oh no.
before the game finishes.
Yeah.
So that was very tragic history
Yeah.
of football, and then
It's traumatizing. Yeah.
yeah, traumatized, and then everyone, even like me, not big football fan, knows about tragedy
Mhm.
or agony of Doha.
Yeah.
And in 30 years after agony of Doha, now we're still again fighting in Doha, and then we're
Right. Right.
winning. Probably not Doha exactly, but we're winning against
Yeah.
Spain and then Germany, and so that's very we kind of
Yeah.
able to get off the track.
You got past that
Yeah,
shadow of
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
trauma.
So
Mhm.
that
Okay. And
Yeah.
I want to ask you, because I remember watching the World Cup 2002 in 2010, which was in South Korea and Japan. I remember it
Mhm.
very well. I also liked the theme song. I remember the theme song was one of the
Oh.
best. And yeah, that was also a controversial World Cup because of what happened, like how South Korea uh,
Uh-huh.
progressed in
Yeah.
the tournament. But I remember you also did very well, because you won your group. You won your group,
Oh.
and you lost to Turkey in last 16, but you also qualified there. So how can this result be compared to that? Because I think you were one of the hosts in 2002. You also qualified into
Mhm.
the knockout stages. So how does it compare to this result, in your opinion?
Wow, I was 5 years old at the time of Korea, Japan joined World Cups. I don't really remember anything,
Yeah.
so I can't really compare, to be honest.
No, that's all right.
But yeah, well, I think it's still very significant because,
Mhm.
well, football wasn't that popular sports until like 10 years ago. If if kids were to play any sports, it was baseball. And I
Oh.
think, yeah. So actually I'm a big baseball fan.
Mhm.
So, but football is getting more and more famous. Just
Yeah.
the Japanese team doing good, and this might gonna be a huge turn. I mean,
Yeah.
that push that movement even farther.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Great. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy for this development and evolution of Japanese football. I think it's really important, and it's going to make the game more interesting, because we have got a new sort of element, new energy.
yeah,
Because
exactly,
it's,
exactly.
I think football always needs to evolve, and this is
Hmm.
this is brilliant. In my opinion, it's always nice to see teams that are not named as the biggest favorites. It's always nice to see them play well and
Yeah.
succeed, and not just by luck, but also deservedly. Well, now
Uh-huh.
you're going to face Croatia in the last 16 match.
Yes.
That's not an easy opponent, like, especially because you've won your group, so it's not the easiest opponent, considering you have won your group. So what do you think? What do you think? Do you stand a chance against them?
Wow, you never know what's gonna happen on this World Cup, do you?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
yeah, well, starting from Saudi Arabia and then
Yeah,
Japan beating Germany and then Spain and
yeah,
well, yesterday Korea beat Portugal and then they made it to
yeah.
last 16 match. So you're never gonna know what's gonna happen. But yeah, as a Japanese, I of course believe in Japan and we could
Mm,
win the match. And yeah,
fantastic. Well, good luck to you. Fingers
thank you.
crossed.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be cheering for you in this match as well.
Oh, thank you very
I
much.
like Croatia. I like Luka Modric, but I
Uh-huh.
think it would be amazing if your team manages. It will be amazing if your team manages to win that game. So
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe another miracle, or that I don't know. It don't have to be a miracle, but yeah, it
it
could be
might
another
not have to
miracle.
be a miracle if you just play well.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Yusuke, for featuring in this show.
Oh,
And
thank you very much for having me.
you're very welcome. And now
You're
stay
welcome.
tuned, viewers, because I'm going to have a look at some of the language from this interview. All right.
Great.
Take care,
Uh,
Yusuke. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye. Thank you very
Bye
much.
bye.
Bye bye.
All right. And in this part of the show, we're going to go through 3 items of vocabulary. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get started, shall we? There at my friend's house, there were dozens of people. So Yusuke was talking about where he was following the game. He said that he didn't exactly watch it at first. He was sort of looking at his mobile phone, checking the score. And he said there were dozens of people at his friend's house. A dozen, what does a dozen mean? A dozen is 12. It's number 12. And if you talk about dozens of people, what you're saying is that there were 12s of people, right? So it's the same when you say tens, hundreds, thousands of people. It's not really a specific number, but you can imagine hundreds of people could be 200, 300, 400 people, whereas dozens, 20, 30, 40 people, who knows? Yeah, it's not really specific. But a dozen means 12. Dozens of people is not very specific. Okay. Then we were talking about how Japanese scored their winner against Spain. And as you know, the ball almost crossed the line. So we were describing the whole thing. And then I said, it's geometry and it's not my strong suit. Yeah. So it's about geometry, looking at the lines and angles. And I said, geometry is not my strong suit. If something is not your strong suit, it means it's not your strength. Yeah. So you could say anything is not your strong suit, right? You could say mathematics is not your strong suit. You could say languages are not my strong suit. And that means I'm not very good at languages, or I'm not very good at maths. Yeah. All right. Well, tell me in the comments what is your strong suit or what isn't your strong suit. I would like to know. Okay. And then we were talking about the Japanese team, and I was sort of speculating about why they have been so good. Like if it comes down to the way Japanese people are, to the way they sort of stick together, the togetherness. And I was kind of throwing it in Yusuke's face and hoping that he would give me his perspective. And so he did. He agreed. And he said that no one is really outstanding in the team, so we have to cooperate. Yeah. So outstanding, to be outstanding, well, it comes from the phrasal verb to stand out, which means to be sort of better than others. You know, if you stand out, you are a little bit better in some way. So you could be faster, you could be stronger, you could be just a better player, right? But no one really stands out in the Japanese team. No one is really outstanding. Yeah. No one is really above average. They are all sort of equal. So that's why, because they don't have the superstar, that's why they have to stick together. Right. Well, and I think that's pretty much it. So thank you very much for watching this show. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if this is your first time watching, because in that way you will not miss any future shows about football or anything I do. I'm an English teacher, so this is my channel. Welcome to the channel if this is your first time watching. Thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to give the video a like. And that's all from me, I promise. Until next time, bye.